might remember, we've partnered with Bodywell before, and I'm not bringing you the same old assembly video again. This is the T16 Pro series, and we'll be showing you how you can build this bike like it is now in today's video.
Hi there, I'm here to do the installation and build of this Bodywel T16 Pro. You can see here it's quite a nice white colour with black detailing on it, which actually makes it stand out really well. It does come with the instructions in here. The actual seat itself here is contrasting in brown, which is quite nice. The other thing it comes with, it will come with a carrier here, which goes onto your back rack here, which I'll explain later. It does come with some tools, spanner, some Allen keys. It even comes with some touch-up paint as well, which is quite handy to keep. Obviously pedals, and we've got ourselves a wheel. So on the back of that, it comes, obviously came in a cardboard box, but it does come up quite protected with bits on there to protect your main parts. Okay, and done. You didn't want to see all those boring bits. So we've removed all of the bits off of there, all the protective bits. You can see now actually how the bike stands out, the black next to the white. You see when it's built actually how nice this is. And I think this is built for any sort of riders of any sort of height as well, because of the amount of travel you've got on this seat here. But we'll see that later. So the back end, more or less pre-built. What we've got to do is look at the front end. See here on the front end, we've got this adjustable pivot here. It comes with a side locking mechanism on here. All you're going to be doing is pulling this up here. So pull this up, keep the fork straight, pull it so that it's nice and straight and level in there. Then you're going to clip that in there. It is as simple as that. I've looked at a lot of these mechanisms here, and this one is pretty good, pretty sleek, and it works really well. Okay, so now we're going to fit the handlebars. So the handlebars you can see here, I have left the protective covering on here because anything helps to keep this safe until we finish working. So you can see here it's got some grips within the handlebar here. This is the piece that's going to go between this bar here. So what we're going to look at doing is removing these Allen bolts here. As you can see, that's grooved as well. So what's going to happen with this, where this sits in here, the actual grooves themselves will then marry up together as you tighten up. Now again, you know, this is dependent on your riding style and where you are, but you can move all of the display and everything first when you first get this on. So all you're going to do is line this up. Just do them finger tight to start with. Nice and simple. And just, you can see on the sides here, just try and line it up central to where your display mount is. Once you get to a certain point, again you can use your Allen keys here to finish tightening up. Okay, so just make sure that when you're tightening that up, you keep it nice and level. Now you can adjust here, just adjust where you would like to have the angle of your handlebars with the brakes and the controls. Alright, so just tighten the rest up. In this case, we're going to need a screwdriver. It does come with one of the Allen keys. It does come with a screwdriver attached here. So we can just undo that. Same the other side. And what that'll do, that'll allow this mounting then to move around to where you think that is the best visual for you. The saddle itself, I've removed it so we can show you. It's sprung quite heavily on the back here. Obviously adjustments here, should you wish it tilted forward or back, which is pretty good. The saddle itself is vented and it's very comfortable. It's got a lot of support there, so I'd imagine for comfort of riding this is going to be pretty good. It has got markings on here, so you know whereabouts you're going to put that. So obviously if you stick it somewhere and then someone else borrows your bike, you know exactly where your markings are. It must at least go to this point here. All right. Obviously it's got to go deeper than that, but you'll see here you've got the adjustment on here on this little bolt here. This slides in. Again, line it up to whatever you think it's going to be. Retighten that bolt and then clip that in nicely. Okay, just line it up through. Make sure when you're lining that through that you line it up with the center of the bike. So where you fit these on here, it's just going to give you a bit of play up onto the adjustments on the wheel. Again, you're going to retighten these. Same the other side. Okay, all nice and tight. Is where we're going to put this mudguard on here. Obviously remembering the bolt that I've got before. It is adjustable on height here when we put this in, but this also comes with the front light as well. So this front light's going to go on onto the front here as well. So you'll fit this through. So remembering the washer. And again, you know, just hand tight in there first. What you need here is just to tighten these up. Obviously we can centralize this and then we can retighten the light. Again, I would suggest once built, get the light on, put it against the wall and then adjust where you need this light. And with a nut on one end here, so you can undo that. What I would say though, this will come right the way off, is remember just how these go on. So you've got a fixing washer here, make sure the angle faces in, and like the ice cream cone spring, that faces in towards the wheel. Okay, so that comes off first. So what this will do, this will fit through the wheel here. And again, remembering which way round that these went back on is with the ice cream cone on, the washer next with the angle piece facing in, and then just screw that on just lightly. So what you've got, you end up with the quick release system here ready to clip into the forks. Now remember, when you're putting this in to the forks, we've got the brake here, the brake caliper and brake disc here, so this is going to fit sliding in. Don't damage the calipers as you're clicking that in. And what that'll do, that will sit in quite nicely there. If you look to the side here, you'll see that it's got my little angled piece here that then slots around into the wheel. It's got a little housing for it this side, and again exactly the same this side, so that will clip in. Just make sure that they're both clipped in. Start to wind this wheel up here on this side. Just remember to keep that clipped in. So wind this in, and what you'll find is as you're clipping this in, you might have to adjust this a little bit more, and then that will clip in nice and tight into there. Check for a nice smooth spinning wheel. It's not catching on the brakes. That is perfect. Okay, going to fit the pedals. Quite nice pedals. These are folding pedals, so these will clip in and they will fold round. So quite nice pedals on these. The thing to remember with these is there's no obvious markings on right or left. So if you look on the end of the screw thread there, in this case it says left, and it will say that on the stem there, that's left. It auto tells you which way to turn when you get it on, so you can just switch that in, and then that will then start to tighten up. Hand tighten these, nice and simple. When you get to a certain point, use a 15mm spanner and then clip that round. Nice and tight, nice little tight on the end. I will say one thing, what I've done is I found it easier if you haven't got a brake, some sort of bike frame to hold, is to turn the bike over. Always remember, protect it with some nice stuff on the floor. Twist it round, and then you're going to do the same on this side.
Thank you for taking the time to watch the assembly of the Bodywell T16. Doing a review on this bike shortly. If you've got any questions on the build process, please leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the review.